verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of
That's
nowhere?
what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Dun, 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 dun. What's up, guys? What's up? Hello, everybody out there. Crazy people that are joining us tonight. Two of my favorite people. I was just talking about them earlier, and they were some of my favorite people.
Oh, God.
Well, we're always talking good about y'all. Nothing bad. You would have known.
Okay.
When I talk
we listen to your show sometimes, so watch out.
Yeah, I don't talk bad about you. I like to pick on you from time to time, though.
I know.
But somebody doesn't matter if who was it? Michelle, it was Amelia. One of them said, "Oh, I know you love me because you pick on me." I said, "That's true. That's true." And Michelle was, "Wait, I'm not feeling no love here then." I said, "You the boss, Michelle. I can't pick on you anymore, baby." I said, "You run everything now." So, because people ask me all the time, "She's really the boss?" I said, "Yeah." "She really boss?" "Yeah." "She really boss?" "Yeah, she's the boss." "Can she fire me?" I said, "Yes." I said, "She got yes." I said, "She can hire you. She can fire you. She don't even have to call me and ask me. You just adios amigos." And I'll be going, "Oh, where'd that show go?" "Okay, well, we're good." So it's all right. But I know y'all going to be busy. So where y'all headed next? Dragon Con, right? Or is there something
Yeah,
in
we're going to
between?
meet you in Dragon Con.
I know. I never know what you might have something squeezed in between. I know how you two are. There might be
Dragon
something.
Con's next up. That's in Atlanta, Georgia. And we have a lot of our Writers of the Future judges and winners are going to be there. The guest of honor this year is Nedia Corafor. And she's an amazing author, and she's one of our judges for the Writers of the Future. And then we have like 8 of the winners that are going to be both writers and illustrators will be at our booth doing signings of the Writers of the Future books. Plus, they're bringing their own books and art to sell there as well.
Good, because I can bring one of my good cameras because I don't have to fly it with me. I can put it in a damn car and take it with me. But actually, I got this weird video camera I had years ago. I found it. It's a high def. It's got a little 80 gig hard drive. I forgot I had this thing, by the way. I opened. There's all kind of stuff in this thing. I didn't even know it was in it. But it's only about this big, about this wide. It's got a 160 times zoom in it, and it's got a backup 60 zoom on it. I forgot I had it. I had bought it for some investigation work, and I had been busy the last couple of years, so I guess I just set it down somewhere in a box, and I was digging, looking for something else, and there it was. I was like, "Oh, look at this. Look at this." So, Emily, so when are you going to start a podcast so you can be winning some awards with us? I'm just asking.
We have a resident podcaster in the family already.
That was good.
kidding.
That was good. I gotta give you credit. That was good. She's talking
No,
about.
this is exciting about these podcasts. You got
It
two of
is.
them, and I've got two. And I've got two categories for the Rise of the Future podcast.
Well, we're in. What was it? 11. What did I read the other day? 11.7 million voters.
No, 5.1 million voters.
Okay. I have something else I was thinking about. Sorry, guys. A whole
that's
different
crazy. How many
Yeah,
people
that's a
voted?
lot.
It is. So that means we had to do pretty good, which is nice. And John and I are talking about the podcast awards, where both of us have shows. That this show is in the podcast award this year. I would tell you to get your ass over to vote, but most of y'all listened and went and voted this year. So thank you for the people who voted. This is only up to now the 500 people. Look, people, I got books I can give you. I got candy. I got friends in Canada send you some good Canadian chocolate. I mean, just let me know what you need for some votes here. Hey, I got airtime. You need some good airtime? We can hook you up. Just give us a call. Oh no, Mr. Podcast Guy.
Well, what they've got is they've got an algorithm where they select, I think it was 2,000 of the people that voted. And so they were given access to be able to vote. Plus, there's 500 podcasters that were voting. So I know of 3 people so far that wrote to me saying, hey, yeah, I was one of the ones selected and I voted for you all. Yeah. So I know we have at least 3 votes.
Well, I know 2 others, so we got 5 votes, and we got Michelle in between us. So that's 5 votes, people. We're on our way, man. Just 495 to go. So again, you need some chocolate, need some good books, all kind of good stuff. No, the picture's out of the thing. I don't need to vote that bad, but still, it's only halfway in there tonight anyway. But really, we're talking.
So, for me, like for the Rise of the Future podcast, it just, obviously, been working a lot and working with you on the increased circulation distribution. It's just what we're trying to do. The purpose of it is to help the aspiring writer and artist. And I've gotten so many, when I posted the fact that we were a finalist, had so many really nice comments on Facebook and on Twitter and Instagram. It's just, for me, it's really good because a lot goes into it. When I interview a writer, I read his book or her book before I do the interview. So I have who are these guys? What do they write? And so it makes the interview go so much better. When I know the work, it just takes so much more time on the preparation. I've got one thing I'm doing right now, when the upcoming one's next month. It's a panel of 4 writers. So I'm reading 4 books to prepare for that one. I've got another one coming up with, what's his name? He was a winner. He was a finalist several years ago, the one that Kim set up for me.
Ken Liu?
Ken Liu. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ken Liu he's got a TV series coming up on his books. So we're going to be talking about that launches in October. So we're going to air the podcast in October. But it gets easier and easier now as we do better. And, each show gets at least a million listens. It just makes it easier to
and
more great guests.
If Michelle don't fire you and I for sneaking that slot in after her, we're going to get another million in there. So, guys, on a side note, John's show airs every Monday at 4:00. So you can catch it there all the time. But because him and I are friends, and it airs also on Thursday after Michelle DeRose. Shh, do not tell Michelle. So, shh, people. But it does. So you can catch it there on Thursdays. Sometimes it'll leave me on Wednesdays, but it's usually Thursdays we air it. It's just an extra benefit. You can catch it there. And occasionally he sends it to me on Saturday, so it airs on Sunday sometimes. But that's random. You never know. Unless you happen to be listening to the network, you won't catch that because there's not a set time. But on Thursdays, there is a set time. It's 10 o'clock it comes on. So, and, of course, if you're a Podbeaner, I know all y'all know y'all following pretty close these days, so y'all can find it pretty easy. I don't know. You're becoming a superstar on Podbean, man. I don't know what that's about. I will never understand when I look at all these different pod sites we have. It's never the same on any of them.
Yeah.
It's always different who's winning, who's losing, who's where, with the exception of 1 or 2 shows that are just bigger shows. It's just crazy to watch because you never know who it's going to be. And then every now and then I'll see shows that are syndicated shows or older shows that are on the network that just happen to be cycling through the rerun cycle that all of a sudden just take off. I'm like, okay, that show's been up there for 4 years, people. Really? And all of a sudden it'll go from like 500 hits to 500,000. You're like, what the hell's going on here? But it is interesting, and we do have a lot of material. I mean, currently we have 12,000 archives available. So
wow,
that's
I got all together to say the network has over 100,000 archives now. We at one time we had 54,000 up, but we started taking them down. Some of them were just poor quality, and some of them I decided are specialty stuff, so I might decide to put them up for sale later on. So I took them down, because if you leave them up too long, there's no ever getting them down. They spread out too far. You can't get them back down. There's nothing you can do. They're just in too many places. It's almost impossible to get them down. But so, what interview you think got you this, John? I mean, what interview put you over the top this year? I know which one it was personally.
Well, it's the interview he did with you, right?
No, it wasn't me, but I know who it was. There was
Nancy?
3 people in it.
Oh.
That's just because
The
blue
Australians?
The
eyes,
Australian
blue
one?
eyes put you over the top, man.
Blue eyes?
Blue eyes put you over the top. I'm telling you.
No, we
It's
had some
funny
good
because-
shows also for the sweeps month. So Nancy Cartwright was a great interview. She's the voice of Bart Simpson, but she's very successful, and she wrote a book that she narrated herself. So that was really good. We've had some winners there, and we've just had some great, people on the podcast, which has made a big difference for us now. So I've had, the major, international best-selling authors, as well as our own winners and judges. And so we have a full line. So it's not just everybody who's already like, oh, I'll never get there. But we have the people also that are they just won. Or we have people that have been really working at it, and that other people can relate to, because that's another thing too, is like, it's one thing to say, yeah, it's great listening to Orson Scott Card, but people kind of go, oh yeah, right, I'm never going to be Orson Scott Card. So he's a good guest to have, but it's also good to have someone else that's just making it. They've been working and finally published their first short story. So that makes a good story as well.
Mm-hmm.
They do. It's I did see, Joni, I seen the newsletter today. I seen y'all published 3 more winners. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Emily puts that together and sends it out, actually.
It's I just has her email or her title.
Yeah, it says it's from Joni, but Emily's the one that does it.
Emily, shame on you. Let Joni do her damn work. I'm just kidding. Joni, if you listen, I'm just kidding, baby. Don't hurt me. I'm just kidding. You have to be there to understand people.
But
Sorry.
yeah, we announced the winners for the second quarter, which was, that's nice. So we're getting our volume 39 winners together here.
Some
2 more
interesting
quarters.
people.
They're into judging the third quarter right now. So
I know. We only got 1 more to go. It
One
seems
more.
like
the end of next month
is singing by. I mean,
if anybody wants to get into volume 39, they have to get their story or their art in before September 30th.
Janelle, if you listen, I know you down there in Peru. You should send in. I mean, that story you posted the other day on the site was really good. It's and even if it's not science fiction and it's fiction, it's good. You should submit it. You never know if it's nonfiction, fiction. I don't know. It's scary as hell. I'll tell you that much. And it's very clean. There's no cursing. There's no sex. It's just scary.
Well, if you want to submit your story, go to writersofthefuture.com. And if you have 3 pieces of art to submit, same thing, writersofthefuture.com or illustratorsofthefuture.com.
And the thing too that's really nice about this is that the contest has grown so much and it's so reputable. Just as soon as we got these things out, the number of people posting and sharing the great news that they won honorable mention in the contest. We have so many people entering the contest now that people on their press releases when they publish the first novel saying, yes, I won honorable mention in Writers of the Future.
Yeah.
And that's just very noteworthy in press releases now that people write. It's amazing how much it's grown and the respect people have for the contest, because it really is unlike any others, because it's merit competition alone.
Yeah.
It does, some say, oh yeah, I was, in some contests where you had to pay an entry fee or, your name is there, then people can do it based upon doing some homework on you and find out, oh, this person here's got money. We'll make them a winner because they'll buy a bunch of books or whatever. But here, because it's totally blind judged, it's a true meritocracy. So if a person gets honorable mention, a finalist, or a winner, it's because strictly they had the chops to do it.
That's true too, people. I've been there. They everybody is on the up and up. I got to give them credit, and all the judges are quite nice people, especially for the amount of time they put in.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to know a couple of them pretty personal now, and they are really good people, and they are there to help. And
Yeah.
the best part of it is for me, it's not. Let me rephrase it. They are there to help, but that's not really what it is. They enjoy helping people.
Yeah.
You know, I was watching Tim and Jody last year, and they were just they cracked me up a lot. For some reason I spent a lot of time with the writers this year. I spent a lot of time with the illustrators last year, but it was they would just, I mean, and they wanted them to learn. They got it in,
Yeah.
got it in faces. To me, that's how teaching should always be, in the face. You know, you should be right. That's how Echo does it. She's in your face. Tom pretty much is too. I mean, I just enjoy that kind of stuff because it shows that you care enough to do it. I mean, anybody can stand in the pulpit and teach. That's not really a hard thing to do, as long as you know what you're talking about. But they get involved, and I still love that. I still love that 24-hour thing. I just love that.
The 24-hour story.
Because it's like, you know, I posted a couple of them the other day, but I decided I'm gonna take them and move them into a one set thing. Because Tim had asked me, we were talking one evening, and he said, the evening that he told him, and he said, see if you can get some pictures while they're just doing their thing, you know. And, you know, everybody's down there, like Jeffrey's all quiet. He's got this kind of somber face on. I'm sitting across the thing. You know, I got some good pictures of you too, by the way. But, you know, all together, I think I got 8 of them or 9 of them. They're really good pictures. You can see the intensity on their face. And but kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It's really an intensity, but there seems to be this like half-hearted smirk there, like they're still enjoying themselves at the same time. It's very interesting. You know, I've always liked photography. I wanted to do it when I was young, but I got into something that made more money. I don't know how else to say it. It's made more money faster, is the way I should say it. Because photography makes good money, but I've always enjoyed it. And I love taking pictures. I mean, I probably in an average year 20,000, 25,000. Linda's always cussing at me. I'll stop. We'll be driving 90 miles an hour. Wait, what's that? Turn around. Get out the car. I got an extensive sunsets alone. I've probably got 2,000, 3,000 of them.
Wow.
Beautiful ones caught. And then I do a lot of them where I catch just to like the last 3 or 4 minutes on the video and just bring them in, because we live on a Gulf Coast. I mean, anywhere you go here, you're going to see a beautiful sunset or a beautiful sunrise. So it's peaceful. You hear the birds chirping in the background, the water rippling, the sun setting.
Sounds just like Hollywood.
Not.
So, Emily, what the hell are you working on now? I know you're always into something. Just
all kinds
ready
of
for
things.
Dragon Con, or just
we have Dragon Con, and then right after that we have Salt Lake City FanX, and then we're also still in the release of the Writers of the Future of All 38, so we've got that going. And then right after that we'll have the Hollywood Christmas Parade, and then right now we're starting to put together the planning also for next year's gala. It doesn't just come together the week before. It takes quite a bit of planning and preps. Yeah,
I know you work on it all the time, and I know the week before you work on it a lot too. Matter of fact, people, we call her the ghost woman. Because she's ghosting everybody. You don't see her. It depends what day it is, but like the last 3, maybe 4 days, she's the ghost woman. You catch her late at night, sweeping in like a little ghost sweeping in on the wind. Have a glass of wine, and she gone again. That's great. John's always working. Every time I see him, John's busting his ass doing something. And John's fun because we can catch up and bump into each other at breakfast, lunch, just chit chat along the way. What's going on? But we're all just running around doing interviews. I would figure between us we got more than 100 this time. So
probably.
So there's a lot. There's a lot. Oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you go on the ICAR site, on the second part of the site, not an ICAR site, I'm sorry, on the UPRN site, the second part of it, there's a bunch more pictures put up, and I think there's 30 or 40. I think there's 30 or 35 archives from there, and then I got 15 more. I got to put them up. I got to transfer them from the YouTube page to the PRN page, so y'all can find them easier. And then there's the ones that Carmen and I have been working on, so those are going up there as well. So
oh, good.
Yeah, so those go up there. So it's just a lot of material, and it's good too, because when I run into people, or like when I'm dropping off books or something like that, I give them that as a reference. I give them the writersofthefuture.com site I give them Galaxy Press too, but I also give them the UPRN site because that's where we get stuff posted. And
Yeah.
I said you can look at Writers of the Future on YouTube. You can look at ours on YouTube. There's just a lot of material there. You can just go see what it is to be involved in it. Because I noticed when I was talking to high school kids, I noticed that when they seen the clip of the gala, it really there was a segment that y'all had done that I keep on one of my pads, and it's just kind of a short thing. Y'all walk, it's like y'all walking through stuff, and then there's a piece of the gala at the end of it, and
Oh yeah.
but anyway, it's a nice thing to show them, and it just kind of gives them an idea. See, this is what you'll be involved in here, and I always laugh because I always have to tell them a story or two about being there. So hopefully they'll get into it, because especially in Mississippi, they need anybody they can to write anything. I mean, there's been some famous writers come out of here, but not many. And literacy is on the coast. It's different because the coast is their mainstay, where all the money is and the casinos are. So the education level here is much higher. But once you get inland a ways, they need books. They need them all over the place. They need to read.
Yeah. Now we've got they ship I guess tomorrow, but we got 200 books, Rise of the Future books, heading over to you.
And John and I got to decide how we're going to give them away to y'all.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, people, if you vote for us, I'll send you a book. I'm just saying.
I don't know how that works, Joe.
Hey,
there might be some kind of.
I know a lot of these people are sci-fi people, so look, these are good books we're talking about here, y'all. I'm telling you, you get something good. I'll give you 2 if you vote for us, but you got to prove that you voted for us. Take a screenshot and send it to us. No, Marilyn, I'm serious. No, of course so. Man, I want to win. I don't like to lose. Nobody likes to lose. Look, no, I was going to say that, but I can't say that. I'll save that for Friday. Sorry, that's going to be a bad one for Friday night.
But even right now, is where we stand. We can get a trophy. I mean, it's just we take a look at out of this over 5 million votes to be able to be in this category. It's like I'm already immediately chuffed just about that.
Well, we were talking about that. I mean, I got lucky. Science and Beyond made it in last year. And I knew, though, when I went and looked at the competition, for the finals, and Science and Beyond made it, I actually told Michelle, I said, it's not going to win. She's like, why? I said, because this little girl is good. The girl who won, she's won like 4 years in a row. She's just good. And then, and I had wrote to her, and she said, really, you think so? I said, I think you're going to win easily. She won easily. And she was like, wow, thanks for writing to me. I'm like, no. I said, when something's good, you can't hate, You got to say it's good. That's a good show. Yeah. She knows her science, which is, I appreciate she actually knows her science, and she does it in a fun way, which is always a good thing. So she don't do a lot of big name guests, but she don't have to. She knows her stuff. So, but anyway, this year, guys, it's different. UFO Undercover's in. So for all my fans over there for UFO Undercover, go vote, and for the Centralist, we knew the Centralist was going to get in because it's a political show, and it's a hardcore political show on different weeks. Michael and I and Jay sometimes are playing around. We've been trying to get Emily, but she said she's scared. So,
not this Emily.
Yes, all Canadians are scared to come on the radio with us. By the way,
really,
I got I'm not kidding you. I got like 15 Canadian friends and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Canadian hosts, and none of them will come talk politics with us. None. And you know what? All but 2 of them hate Justin, Mr. Pink Shorts, but none of them come talk politics with us. So, which I don't blame them. They have reputations up here. People know I'm kind of can be a real pain in the ass. So it doesn't really hurt my reputation in the fields I work in. It doesn't hurt the science shows, and it doesn't hurt this show that I talk politics. But for a lot of people, it would hurt their standing or their followers. John couldn't do it. They'd be like, right, is it a what? John could talk good politics. I have no doubt about that, but it would actually hurt him. Michelle too. She couldn't do it. It would hurt Michelle. Yeah. It's because of where sometimes you have to walk down the middle if you want to be on both sides. I'm a centralist. I'm down the middle anyway. So I'm just hating on both sides, which is just fun for me. It's just, I have fun, people. You know what the centralist really is for Joe, guys? It's a way to get rid of stress, and y'all are the ones getting it because I'm having a ball. I really am. But go vote for us. I mean, John works hard for shows. The shows are very professionally done. If you haven't seen any of the Writers Future shows, you should go look at them. These are past winners and judges and people in between. That's just a lot of good material. And for people who are into sci-fi or fantasy and stuff like that, you'll get to listen to a lot of the people who are actually generating this. some of the judges are actually those people. So you should go listen. I'm not going to drop names. We do it all the time. But if you go read the judges and you know your sci-fi or your fantasy, you'll know who these people are. It's the easiest way to tell you. I remember when I had a Todd on a couple of weeks ago, actually a couple months back, and some people didn't know Todd's and some did. But as soon as they heard his last name, it was like, oh yeah, okay. And as soon as we said it was his son, then there was a whole different conversation that was going on.
Yeah.
And which was interesting. And I hadn't known Jody had known him as much about her until we did the interview.
Well, it's interesting with Anne McCaffrey, who you're referring to.
Yes.
We have at the Dragon Con, we're going to be premiering a never before seen video interview with Anne as part of our Writers Feature panel. So that'll be exciting there. So we're promoting that as well for people to come see it. And then, because we've got 2 of them, so one's going to be done at Dragon Con, and then a second one's going to be done at in Salt Lake City at FanX. So we'll have never before seen video interviews with Anne McCaffrey at both conventions.
Well, people, if y'all fans, you should come out and check it out. I know we got a lot of friends in Atlanta for both their shows. So why don't you come out and say hi? I will be milling around all over Atlanta. God knows where I'll be, but people like John and them may see me from time to time, so they may have an idea, and I'm going to see it. There's a lot of people I know that's going to be not just attending, but are going to be part of it. And I want to stop and see them. Doing what I do, I meet a lot of interesting people, and a lot of them just going to happen to be in this location all at one time. So it's kind of like one-stop shopping. Same thing with FanX. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward because I haven't been to Utah in a while. It's been about 4 or 5 years since I've been to Utah. Last time I was in Utah, I went to Area 51.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still here talking about it.
I haven't been to Area 51, but we have been to Park City, which is a beautiful place there.
Love Park City.
Oh, I would bring y'all, but they would probably just take Emily. We'd never see her again. Did you bring a Canadian to Area 51? Oh my God, this is what is going on here? I can just see it now. There is a weirdness. I met some people who live and work down in Rachel, and I didn't know this, but the Little Alien Inn, every Thanksgiving and every Christmas, they go to the guardhouses and they bring big turkey dinners and everything and set them out front for the soldiers to come eat. And they've been doing it for like 2 decades. I'm amazed the government even lets them eat it. I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm surprised because it is an ultra top secret base, and I'm just surprised, because it'd be an easy way to take out a bunch of guards, So, but no, it seems to go on. Everybody down here is really nice, really friendly. You don't get to see any of the guards. All you see is these cameras and these binocular cameras.
Yeah.
Everywhere I was having fun going. I was trying to blow up the camera. And I love that. No cell phones, no photographs, and that's how you see people out there. Cameras going everywhere. Drones flying around. I like the stupid people that jump the fence.
Do they collect a lot of? Do a lot of people go through there?
Actually, yeah, there's a lot of people go through. And I met the sheriff, and actually, I got to know him pretty well. And he was telling me, so if you jump the fence and you get arrested, and they'll bring you to him, to Rachel, Nevada, and it costs you $750 to get out of jail, and that's it. There's no other trouble as long as you didn't do anything stupid. Now, you make it past guardhouse number 2, that's up to whoever's running the base what they want to do with you. They can let you go. They can put you for espionage. They can put you in a deep dark tunnel without a trial, and you never come out again. That's entirely up to them what they want to do. So I tell people all the time, people, I'll get there. I say, yeah, you just think you're going to get there. That place is so heavily monitored, it's ridiculous. Then the jackrabbit jumps, they know what's going on. I was laughing because you get stories all the time about people talking about, you'll see them out there checking on rattlesnakes because they're tripping motion sensors and stuff. And I've been to several of the different gates. It's just it's interesting. It's kind of fun, but it's not it's not like they're going to let you in.
Yeah.
Hey, knock. Can I come in and look around? Yeah, sure. Come on in, buddy.
Can I go to the visitor center, please?
Yes. Where is the visitor center? Can you show me? Is it underground? I can just see it now. Oh man, see, Emily's a bad influence, John. She's bad.
Just asking.
Oh man. Oh, you see, I'd bring Michelle, but we'd be in jail for sure. So she'd say, "Wait, can I go over there?" And I can see her now climbing over the fence, man. I'd be like, "No, girl, go home. Stop it." But it is fun, and Utah's such a pretty place.
It is.
Where we were last time in Utah was only, I think, 90 minutes to Area 51. It was close. I was surprised, but we were, I think, in southern Utah somewhere. And West Salt Lake. We was close to Las Vegas. It's well, I know I was with a native. He's a good friend of mine, Nathan, and he actually was one of the guys who sponsors the Utah UFO conference. But he was showing me around all over the place, all these haunted towns, all these abandoned cities. And on the way to where we were going, we passed through at least 5 or 6 of these dead towns. You'd see signs: next gas 215 miles, speed limit 85, kill a cow, buy a cow, stuff like that.
Wow.
Because they don't care. You can cruise all you want. I mean, I blew by a cop at night. He didn't even look at me. And I wouldn't look. I was a slow guy. I wasn't even the fast guy. These
Wow.
people, I mean, there's nothing out there. It's just
Yeah.
endless desert. And I said, but when you stop at night, I mean, you're way up. You're high up in the air to start off with. It's the skies are almost touchable. I mean, they're just
Wow.
nothing until you look to the west and you see this big blob of white light, which happens to be Las Vegas. And
Yeah.
when you look up to the sky to the right, you just see a long stream of these white dots going by. You know what's going on. But other than that, I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful country. And we got lost up in the mountains in Colorado. We left Utah, went through the Indian reservation in Colorado, got lost in the mountains. Beautiful. I had a great time. No internet. I mean, no phone service and no FM service, but it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Well,
Nice.
Elon's going to take care of that pretty soon. But anyway,
You love Elon, man. He's my man. Somebody
I
said
know,
that day.
Starlink.
Somebody asked me the other day if you got a man crush. I said, "Well, it's Elon, baby." I said, he ain't sexy, but he's smart. And
Yeah.
today's smart is sexy, so we can go with that. But yes, people, y'all didn't know that. If you're smart, you're sexy now. You don't remember back in the 80s, nerds in the 70s, nerds were just like kicked to the curb. And today they're the multi-billionaires owning
right.
the planet. I mean, let's look at Elon Musk. Come on, guys. Jeff Bezos. In school, he probably got beat up on a daily basis. But no, let's talk about Bill Gates. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, but today they're the guys that rule the world. So think about that, guys, when you're out there. And Marcia, it's galaxypress.com. Mm-hmm. Writersofthefuture.com if you're going to submit something. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize what you said. Yeah, writersofthefuture.com.
So I'm just question: why do you think UFO Undercover made it as a finalist?
Because you haven't got a big show.
What's that?
Our average listening audience when I'm doing shows full time is somewhere between 2.5 and 4.4 million. So it's got a lot of listeners, and it's been around for 23, 24 years now. So it's yeah. So what happens with it, because I do so much other stuff. So if I get in where I'm not doing the show as much, the audience will drop. But as soon as people start seeing new archives, they just start coming back for the live shows. And it really depends what I'm talking about, how many people are going to show up. But if I get into deep, dark topics or alien abduction topic, oh my God, look, these people on the phone calling each other. Oh, you got to come here with Joseph. Oh my God, he's lost it. Blinking my. Oh my God, and I will. They'll play conversations for me where they're calling their friend and telling them stuff. And you can hear them go, "You got to get there now. You might stop talking about it." It's hilariously funny. But we started out like everybody else. I mean, when the show started, it had like 5 listeners in a chat room. It had a chat room like 30 listeners in it. And then when I gave up Wake Up USA, of course this one grew because a lot of that audience came over to this show. And it's been growing ever since. But as far as I can tell, I'm in every country on the planet. I know week before last we were looking, and it was surprising to see how many people are still listening to us in Russia and China. I don't think they're going to quit, even if we get into it, unless we just cut them off. China's just wanting to hear this stuff, so they're absorbing it. And Europe has always been interested in it. So. And just like Americans, we like to hear a British or an Aussie voice. Well, they like to hear it. I get letters from ladies all the time, but I love your Southern voice. Oh my God, why don't you move to Europe? Like, I will send it to my wife if she says it's okay. We can talk. Just shit, my wife's gonna put up with, I swear. But it's I understand that though. It's understandable. It's when I hear Aussies talking to me, Chris has got a good accent, and a lot of the women I know from Australia have really great accents, and it's good. Americans hear American accents all the time, so it's nice to hear something different. It's the same thing for them. They want to hear something different, and we have a wide range of accents in America, so just pick one and listen.
Oh yeah,
we have a lot of fun. Ricky, you can't vote, dude, unless you were selected to vote. You can't. Look, if I could get you in there to vote, I would, but I'm sorry. There's what John and I were talking about earlier. I think there's 2,500 people that were selected to vote all together. 500 of which were podcasters, and Well, I got confused with the letter because I was thinking he wrote 500 podcasters that had submitted shows. So I wasn't sure if that's
I
what.
wasn't sure that. It just said 500 podcasters.
Okay. Because it was weird. Yeah, but it's nice, people. I mean, we appreciate everybody who voted for us. We want y'all to vote for us next year. We're hoping we'll be up there for next year. And while we're on this, United Public Radio's up for we're up for actually 2 awards. We're up again for local best local broadcaster, which y'all just don't understand how bad these big FM stations are. They lose their mind when I win. So much so that when I call into their shows, they let me talk for as long as I want because I guess they think they're going to get some extra ratings. I'm not kidding you. On 3 of the big stations down here, when I call in, I know the producers, so they put me forward now. So they put me forward. They'll just jump me to the front of the line. And a couple of the hosts they do it to can't stand me because I'm really mean to them. So they just love it. Oh, I have so much fun. It's so much fun. Well, these people are morons. You hear them start talking, and I'm like, that's why I try not to listen to news, but I have to listen to some because of the other show. But and see, it's why I'm missing my pad because normally I would plug it in and just listen to something else.
Yeah, well, we can handle that right now.
Or right after.
I told you I talked to the boss.
Good.
Yeah, she's in charge of all my money these days.
Yeah, right.
She's the boss lady, man.
Well,
you have to turn everything over to her.
Your dog hasn't made his.
I know she's off cue, but no, it's not quite at the top of the hour yet, or the bottom of the hour yet. She's something else, and my stepdaughter's staying with me right now. she looks at it. She's finally got to where, okay, you can love me now. Look at me, you can love me now. The other one's not. The other one's like, no, you can't love me yet. Stay a little longer, baby, but not yet. So it's funny as hell. It's not only going to New York any this year. Huh? I got to go sometime. I was supposed to go this month, but we put it off probably until November, I think. I'm going up for a documentary. We're filming it. Well, this is kind of crazy how this is going to work. We're going to go up in Buffalo State University and film the documentary there because the guy's a professor there. And then we're going to drive up to Niagara Falls and go harass Michelle at her new house.
Oh, how fun.
And do a regression session at her house. So alive. And we already did one a couple of weeks ago over the internet, but I hate doing them over the internet. I don't mind hypnotizing people. I just don't like doing it over the internet. I don't feel like I have enough control. And I have to think about things because I don't want to leave it like a session open. So you just keep getting memories coming back in your head because the session was left open, or if something goes a little crazy, I like to be there so I can help remove the emotions faster. I mean, when I use my voice that I use for hypnosis, it works easier, but it's still, I like it when I'm face to face. Plus, I can set up the voice stress meter on the side of your head and watch the meter as it goes by to see how you're reacting to certain questions or how you're responding when you tell me particular answers. Where the hell did that come from? Oh, messenger. Who the hell? What? Sorry, guys. My messages just went bleep, 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 bleep. I'm like, what the hell is that?
Your messages went off. You started talking about hypnotism.
Yes, I don't know what it is. It just started. I don't know. Anyway, it was weird. Whoever was spamming me with questions, I would stop it. But I enjoy doing it too. I mean, in the early days, we weren't big on hypnosis, even though I was trained early on. So was Linda. But I prefer to try to retrieve stuff from people's heads the old-fashioned way. But if you can't, hypnosis is a good way to help. And I'm very strict on how we do it. And I'm very hard. I'm really, really strict, actually. I won't even let somebody come in unless they bring somebody that they trust implicitly. Somebody that they know who's going to be there is going to make sure they're safe. And so they feel secure while they're talking. Because some people know me, some don't. And you need to feel comfortable when someone's hypnotized, especially when somebody big and ugly like me. So, you need, I'm just saying, you just need to feel comfortable. And the first time we don't really ask any questions. We just ask, I would say like, well, Emily, what happened on October 25th of, 1991 or something, whatever date you had given me. And then I'd just let you tell me that backward and forward. And then we'd stop the session and then we'd formulate a line of questioning from the information that came out of the session. And I still wouldn't allow you to use words. I couldn't use words like alien craft or aliens at all, UFOs, spaceships. None of that can come out of my mouth, or ghosts or demons, whatever it may be. I can't be the one that says that. You have to be the one that says it, or it means absolutely crap.
Yeah.
Because I could be just filling your brain full of crap, So, and people, I know before anybody writes to me, Real hypnosis, two things. First off, you won't do anything. You won't let somebody do anything that you would not normally do anyway. You'd have to be on the hypnosis with using drugs like sodium amytal, some pentothal mix. Now, if I used that on somebody and took you to level 10, oh yeah, I could make you think you were Donald Duck. That's a whole different thing. That's a different type of hypnosis.
Now we're getting to the old army experiments and
like I said, that's a whole different thing. But the hypnosis we do is not like that. We just hypnotize you usually to level 4 or 5. It's a medium. The first one will usually be a light hypnosis. As a matter of fact, you'll barely even feel like you're under. And it's a lot of times you'll wake up out of it and we'll have to go back. But I want you to feel comfortable. And then next time we'll do a little deeper, 3 or 4, depending on what information we're looking for. And then we'll just bring you back down the beach and into the thing and let the little thing spin around and see what pops up. It's an interesting way of doing it. And
you must have all kinds of interesting stories.
Yeah, I got some freaky weird ones. Like the lady started chirping like a dolphin. Well, she said, well, she's heard the one type of aliens talking to something else, and when she started doing it, it sounded just like a dolphin clicking. We recorded the whole thing. It was crazy, and it was like the Star Trek episode when you played it underwater. It sounded like a dolphin underwater.
Wow.
Okay. Or the people who talked about being on ships and looking down and seeing herds of dolphins and grays all mixing together. I'm like, okay, well, maybe the grays are a dolphin. All right, what do I know?
Yeah,
it's interesting. Well, I can't. Some stuff I'm sure is real, and some stuff I'm sure is just completely made up in your brain with a combination of things. People don't realize you can't dream about a face you've never seen, but your brain can take a bunch of faces you have seen and make it into something else. So
you can turn some of that into some stories and submit it to the contest.
I shouldn't talk about this right now, but we've been talking about. I think I told John about this. When I was in LA a couple of years back, I was filming for Prometheus Entertainment, and I got an audition the day I was leaving at 6:30 in the morning. I'm thinking, really? But it was what we were going to do is we were going to hypnotize people, and then they were going to put the hypnosis on the screen, and then they were going to do a reenactment of whatever came out of the hypnosis. Now, at the time, I think it was Prime or somebody or Sci-Fi that was looking at it. And then, of course, COVID came, and that was it. And I didn't think anything else about it. I figured, okay, that's never going to happen now. COVID's come. They've gone on to something else, or something else is going on. Well, a couple of days ago, about a week ago, they contacted me again through Netflix and said, would you like to come talk about this? It's not an audition. They want to talk about salaries and how this can be worked out. What I was basically told is we're going to film between 12 and 14 episodes. We're going to do the first season all at one time in 2 or 3 months, and then I come home for a month and then I'll come back and film the next set.
Huh?
And as far as I know, they're talking about filming in LA, so I'll be aggravating.
Oh, that'd be great. See and have.
So I don't. To me, those kind of things. Anytime I hear about TV, to me, it's always seeing is believing. Once I see a contract, I believe. Because I've had too many gigs offered that were like, oh yeah, and then I've had a couple I've had to turn down because they were stupid. They wanted one group out of Texas, and they were putting up big money. They just wanted to take the abduction and turn it into this reenactment of just complete fan. I just couldn't do it. It would hurt too many people who were involved in it. So I was like, okay, well, that'll have to go on. Unfortunately, I was making really good money at the time, so it didn't matter. But still, we'll see where it goes. I know we got the 2 documentaries coming out, and then I don't know if Cape of Green's going to ever release their documentary. They finished that. Well, they finished with me 2 years ago. That's why I hate doing TV. Every time I do Ancient Aliens, it's like a year and a half before I get to see it.
Wow.
I'm like, come on, what the hell?
Will you do Ancient Aliens?
Yeah, I've been on 3 times. 3 different seasons. It's well, actually they brought me on mainly for the blood type stuff, for the blood type research. People, y'all forget I got a bachelor's in science. People, yes, I actually do hardcore science. Jesus, you shouldn't be shocked. I see that, Mark. Don't think I didn't see that comment. Anyway, no, yeah.
Then another show you've got then is Essentialist. So there's so many political shows. I mean, that seems like would have been even harder to get that. Like, there's so many political shows.
Yeah, but you see, it would have been harder, but because I'm essentialist, I can pick on both sides. So I managed to piss off both sides at the same time. So they both got to attack me. And when they start attacking me, they start attacking each other. It just snowballs, and it goes, from there on. Because you know how I am, John. You know me long enough to know I'm going to speak my mind. So it's
you get the
like,
same kind of numbers on the Essentialist as you do on UFO.
No, I wish. Essentialist best show ever, 1.4 average, 9 to 1. 9 to 1-1, 900,000 to 1.1. That's it. That's its average. Actually, Science and Beyond still beats it. Science Beyond's average is about 1.4, 1.5. So it does pretty good. Now, when I do Science and Beyond all the time, it'll give UFO Undercover a run. It'll get up around 2 million, 2.25 million, which always fascinates me because anytime I do real science in this show, it usually is one of the lowest rated shows I do. I mean, I've had every major scientist you can think of on this damn show, except for maybe Elon Musk. And it just kills the ratings. Michio Kaku Neil deGrasse Tyson was probably the lowest rated show I've ever had. And it was a great show.
Wow.
I mean, we got in some deep stuff. I mean, he sold his book in the beginning, and that was the invite. I sent him my audience and said, look how big it is. Come sell your book. And he said, okay. And then we talked about 20 minutes, and then we got into some serious stuff. Lost the audience completely. And when Michio Kaku and I was introducing him to the stepping stone theory on how, we could travel in space without having to worry about faster light, blah, 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 blah. And he found it fascinating. I've heard him talk about it on his own show. And it was a great conversation. And I think it was just too sciencey.
For your audience?
I geek out sometimes, and I do, I've read, Universe in a Nutshell. I've got, a whole thing of philosophers behind me. I like to read, a lot of books like those, and and physics of Jesus. I couldn't even tell you how many physics books I've read. It's so I think we just geeked out, and then we lost the audience. When I went back and listened to it, I still thought it was great. I was having fun. Even listening to it, I was having fun. But the audience was like, "Yeah, Joe, okay, we'll see you next week." Yeah, we'll see you next week. That's pretty much what that was. And the next week we talked about we did Alien Abduction 101 and had 3.3 million listeners. We barely broke 1 million with Michio and had 3.3 the following week. So it just shows you what they want. What they want. It's like any show. They want what they want, and which is fine by me because I love my audience. I have a great audience. I have an intelligent audience. They like to ask hard questions. They don't take a lot of bullshit, which is another thing I like. And when I do phone calls, they'll get in there. They're as good as anybody in the field, man. They get up there and just hold their own, which is nice. Mm-hmm. And it's also more entertaining, Guys, any questions for John Because we're getting ready to blow out of here in a few minutes. We got about 5 more minutes, which I got. I don't see nothing. I see empty messenger box, which is probably the first time I've ever seen that. Really? Come on, guy. Whoever wrote that. You know what? I thought y'all had to be on my friends list. Oh, no, you don't you? Never mind. Sorry. I forgot it's a public page. I apologize. Well, one of my pages is family only and close friends. It's maxed out at 5,000. And you can't, if you're not on the list, you can't message me. But the other two are public pages because I have 3 personal pages. So one for this, one for that, and one for that. The ones associated with UFO Undercover because I needed that for the people in the field and the other researchers to use. So that's what that's for. The one I'm always on, though, is just a mismatch of people. Christina Broussard. Christina, where did I know that name from? Damn, well, maybe it's not you, but I do know Christina Broussard. What do you have for us before we get out of here? You mean to listen to John's show? Go to SoundCloud. I mean, you want to see if you want to see his lovely face, you have to go to YouTube. But if you want to just listen to the show, SoundCloud, you can go to Writers of the Future or UPR, either one. They both have the archives on them. Mm-hmm. I think what are we on 185 right now?
Yeah, about something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So just go over there and listen. No, you don't have to start at number 1. You can skip around, jump around, find your favorite show, find your favorite person. Yeah. They all got the picture of who's on there and the description of who's on. So just go look at it. There's a short description because, SoundCloud only lets us go so long, but then there's a description underneath so you can see who it is. All the winners from this year are up there. So you can see the judges are up there. You got winners up there for what, 3-4 years now? 3 years?
Yeah, 3 years. And we've also got a lot of judges. We've got a lot of artists. We've got publishers, the head of Tor Publishing, the head of several magazines that I've interviewed. So we cover all kinds of things. A lot of media people. You're on there as how to do media interviews. We try to do anything we can to be able to help and provide tips for the aspiring writer or artist on how to make it in the industry. So even if they're established, so that you can find out more things you can do as well as a writer and artist, that we provide all that stuff. So it's a very definite niche that we go after here, but it's pretty big, and it's continuing to grow as we have the international audience more and more tuning in. It's provided really good response from the industry, because so many people are able to help out. And okay, here's something you can do to build up an audience base. Here's something you can do if you're not sure how to come up with story ideas. Here's something, whatever type of question you've got, you can do it. And somebody, I did a post a couple months ago, what would you like me to talk about? And someone asked for this new feature on Kindle. Yeah, it's Vela, and it's I had never heard of it, so I just did interview a girl on it, and it'll go up in a few weeks. But it's an amazing new option that Kindle has on segments that you can listen to stories, but they've got cliffhangers at the end of each section that will enable you to just pull you along. It's a whole different type of format, but the authors can make really good money on there. If they get something going good, you can make good money on there. So we're trying to do that. How do you survive as a writer or as an artist? So we're always looking for new stuff to be able to help.
And by the way, in case y'all didn't notice, ladies and gentlemen, you can actually monetize your Facebook pages, your Instagram pages, your Twitter pages, your TikTok pages. All of that can be monetized, and you'd be surprised how much money you can make. If you've got a big YouTube page, or if you got a big Facebook page, 100,000, 200, 500,000, you can make a couple of grand a month easy. You get a couple million, you can make quite a bit of money. You'd be surprised. They don't pay as hard, they don't pay as good as they used to, but everybody still pays pretty good. So you just got to break a certain number. That's usually about 1.5 million. And usually you're raking in kind of money that most people have never seen in their entire life. They're like, a matter of fact, a lot of your monthly is a lot of middle class America's yearly, just to put it in perspective. So it's out there. You just got to get out there and get it. Actually, I'm talking about that. We're getting ready to monetize all of our pages, all of our other pages, all of our new pages. The only thing we don't monetize right now is YouTube, and we may or may not in the future. We'll see. YouTube,
you had some troubles there, right?
The United Public page was a great page. It had all kind of stuff. It had memberships on it. We had great material there, specialty material there. We had 6,000 archive. It was making between $3,000 and $7,000 a month. And because of some reckless hosts, we lost a page. And now it looks like YouTube's going to settle with me on that as well. But it doesn't help me. I don't get the material back. So even though every archive that was there, we do own in audio, we didn't have them all in video. So that bites. But they're going to pay us for it, so we'll see we'll see what they're going to pay us for and see how that goes from there. But it's all but all the rest of them people, you can monetize all of that stuff, and there's all kind of new stuff out there, all kind of ways to get to money now. You just got to get it. And after John and them told me a $42 million story, I was like, what? Wait, what the hell is he getting on?
Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, Brandon.
I was like, and I said, so it's just so many ways that you can go to put your stuff out now. But that one, don't you have to, if you don't make it, you don't get it, right? I mean,
I think he said, he needed like $1 million in order to put out these 5 books and he had all these freebies and giveaways and whatnot. And he asked for $1 million and ended up at 42 million, the highest grossing Kickstarter of all time for some books. And he never even gave away the titles of the books or said what they're about. It's amazing.
John, we got to change this, buddy. we got to figure this out, man. This is not right.
I'm going to do a podcast. I want to kickstart. I'm not going to tell you what the podcast is called. I'm not going to tell you who's going to be guest on it. 42 million. That's
right. You probably will. That's. I guess people.
Maybe that's what I'll do for the podcast, Joe. Maybe I'll announce that I'm doing a podcast.
Well, they got a guy. I haven't heard him lately, but he had a podcast called Nothingness, and he talked about nothing. He didn't do anything. Half the time he was in a T-shirt. He had 4 million followers. Half the time he logged into his shows, he had 500,000 people watching, and it was like a poor version of what's his name? Who used to the comedian on TV. who had the show that they were about nothing. Why can't I remember his name? Jerry Seinfeld show. And it's kind of like that, but it's just far worse. It's just bad.
Wow.
But yet he's making big money off of it.
Amazing.
You know, and there's Joe Rogan out there. He's making big money, and I like
Yeah.
Joe and all, but I mean, I don't think he's all that greater host than anybody else out in the podcasting world. But you just never know who people are going to take off on. You just don't
Yeah.
know. You know, when the first time I seen an audience over a million, I like had a heart attack. I was like, you got to be. Actually, Linda got on my ass one night. She's like, you do know people listen to you, right? I'm like, yeah. Because it took a while for me to get, I felt immodest when people would come up to me and talk to me or want an autograph or something. I was like, wait, what? No. It just felt wrong, man. I'm sorry. It took me a while. I didn't think I'd be like that because, I got a big mouth and also I figured I'd be a little bit different about it, but it felt wrong for a long time. Now I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, I'll talk to you. I'll sign something. But it's still just, even now, it just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
I guess maybe if I ever get rich and famous, it'll be different, but I don't
There you
think
go.
so.
Speaking of rich and famous, everybody needs to get a copy of Writers of the Future Volume 38. That'll make it all of our winners.
That's right. All
You're gonna have to
2,500 of y'all, huh? John be happy he sold 2,500 books. He'd be real happy. It's no, Pete. Actually, we're getting ready to go, but it's galaxypress.com. If you're looking to buy one of the books, that's where to go. You can go to Amazon or any place books are sold. I just want y'all to know that, but I always give out the galaxypress.com site. Just go there. Yeah, leave a comment. Say, hey, hi. We were listening to y'all on the show.
Yeah, and we just, in terms of the last, before we end off here, so we just announced all the winners of the second quarter. The winners and the finalists and the honorable mentions just got posted on our blog and the social pages, so you can see who the winners are for quarter two for to be published in volume 39. We only had one winner from UK on this quarter, and everybody else was US, but it's open to everybody.
US people getting there. Last year, them damn people from the UK was taking over, man. It was a 6 of them all together.
UK and Australia.
Yes, that's all the UK to me.
Yeah.
United Kingdom, man. All part of the Commonwealth.
What we also do too is if they're from the United Kingdom and they use UK English, that's what gets published. We don't convert it to American English. It's all Australian. Then we got the Australian English.
That means Americans pay attention when you're reading because they don't always use the same words we do.
No,
that's right.
Let me rephrase it. Their words don't always mean the same things ours do.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I learned that when I was in my late 20s, early 30s. I was on a podcast, well, actually a radio show with somebody out of New Orleans, a religious radio show at that. And the guy was talking. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I said, where are you from? He said, oh, I'm from England. I'm like, oh, you're from England? No, okay. You're from England. I said, well, why is your words different than us? He said, American English and British English are not the same thing. I was like, and why is that? Because we broke away from the colonies, we had to change some words? I mean, what the hell was going on here?
Probably.
Probably the founding fathers weren't crack people. What can I tell you? I don't know what was going on back then. But anyway, guys, we got to go. So remember, if you are one of the judges, please go over there and vote for us. It's Writers of the Future, The Centralist, and UFO Undercover. And vote for whoever else you want. What do you mean most influential? Oh, no. Well, I don't know. John might know. So I know you can, when you put your shows up, you can actually pick a person for most male or female influential podcaster. I don't know how it works. I don't know if you can nominate again. So in other words, if you wanted to vote for John for most influential podcaster, male podcaster, I don't know because I don't know if he's up for it.
No,
I don't know how
you're
that
not
works.
You can only vote if you are one of the final judges. You can only vote in the categories where the nominations exist. So John's nominated in 2 categories. There's storyteller drama and educational. So if you are a judge for it, you could vote for him in those categories only.
Yeah, and then you've got the UFO Undercover in entertainment and centralist in political.
Yeah. Somebody said, why do you put it on something more serious? I said, because it's partly entertainment. I said, we do research, but you're not going to sit. If I sat here and read from my research, I would never listen to the show ever again. Let's just be honest about it. There has to be some fun in it, and make people think and stuff. But guys, if you are somebody one of the 2,500, go vote for us. We'd appreciate it. after the awards and all are done. If you want to come tell us you voted, that's fine. We'll let you come up and show and talk about it. Tell us what you liked about the shows. By the way, because I know we're getting ready to have a meeting in mid-September, I believe, when I talk to Michelle. If y'all have any complaints or any suggestions for any of the shows, for that matter, not just this one, anyone, you can write to us and they'll be passed on at the meetings. Or if it's something we liked or something we want to implement at the station, write to us. I mean, it's trial and error for everything everybody does on the network. There's a lot of people here now. And Glenda, you are right. We are what I always say, female heavy. Yes, by about 3 hosts right now. And I think we have one more female, so it's going to be 4. Yes, it's rough. What can I say? What can I say? It's hard. It's a hard thing to deal with, but we still love him. No, it's not because of Michelle. We were already female heavy before Michelle took over. It's just sometimes it falls out. People get fired. People get canned. New shows come in. It's just the way it falls out. No, John and I aren't the only 2. Anyway, we'll talk about that on another show. Okay, we got to go. It's just retarded. Guys and girls, thanks for everybody for tuning in. I hope y'all enjoyed this first hour. Y'all going to hear some music, and I'm going to get out of here, and then I'll be right back. So see y'all in about 5 minutes. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, y'all don't like my music? Shame on you people. Shame on you. There it.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.